This is the opening screen of nanoEdit. I have one file loaded, and that's all the gibberish and garbage you see on the screen here. But just to give you a quick run through of the interface, quickly switch to the topic of interest, which is the data mode, which is new. You're in text mode at the moment, and it's somewhat familiar to SpeedScript users, maybe, but maybe not. If you've been reading the newsletters along and you've been following the development of the project, you'll know that I started with Charles Brannon's SpeedScript, I guess version 3.2. I bought the book and I typed in the source code and got it running. You can read about that in the newsletter. I believe it's issue number 10 and 11 and 12. But I think I start talking about it in issue 9. In any case, at the upper right of the screen, you'll see OVR, which represents overwrite. That's the text mode, where you'll type over the existing characters. Hitting Control O toggles that to insert mode. The drive is to the left of that. You'll see drive or device, and if you hit Control D, you'll toggle through the devices 8, 9, 10, 11, and then back to the SD card. The help can be toggled with I think the tab key right now, Control I for information, but it's going to be changed to Control @, which is the top there. I'm not sure if it works in this version. Let's see. It does work, and you'll see a list of the of all of the valid commands. The formatting of the border is a little bit wonky because I'm in between modes right now, but that's subject to change. So I'll give you a quick look at that. You'll notice at the bottom, towards the bottom right, there's an asterisk that says data mode only. So the commands that are only applicable to data mode are grab, narrow, G and N, hunt, hex, which I think I changed it to hex hunt actually in the last source. And then there's the value entry. So I'll tab back out of that. Bottom left is the X, or what column you're in. All is how much of the file you're looking at, which is not accurate at the moment. And then you're on line 1. F2 will do a quick save. Let me see if it does. What does it do? Yeah, it makes that asterisk go away. It's not named yet, but you'll see the asterisk went away. If I type a space and a backspace, and then I refresh the screen, which I'll need to in this version, you'll see that the asterisk pops up indicating that there's an edit made. And then F8 toggles the video mode. So I'm going to toggle the edit mode from text edit over to data edit. So pressing F6 does that, and now you're looking at a slightly different view. Two things changed. The first thing that changed is the layout of the characters changed quite a bit. The second thing that changed is the lower status line. So you'll notice instead of telling the column, etc., now it lists indicator that shows where I am in the file, 0000, and then how large the file is, 0F9F. And if you go to hexadecimal, you'll know that 0F80 in decimal is 4,000. So this file is 4,000 bytes long, and I'm at positions 1. So if I move, you'll see it go up, and as I move along the file, it'll tell me the relative position from the beginning of the file. Now this is not the load address of the file if it's a binary file, but there's something that comes into play there. We'll talk about that later. You'll also notice that the equals 20 is you're on a space now, which is 32 value. And if I move to this, you'll see it changes to F0. Okay. Other things to point out, I go into this quite a bit in an article that I wrote will be published in about 3 days, 3 days being the Christmas Eve, I guess, 3 or 4 days. And you'll see here that these characters are familiar. There's the square bracket, there's the quote. If it's reverse field, that simply means it's a high order of that value. And if you look at it, if I mouse over it or cursor over it, this is A2. And if you do the math, I think 22 is a quote. Is that right? 22 is a quote. 32, 33, 34. Yeah, 22 is a quote. So the complement of 80 with the high order bit set will show it in reverse field, which is indeed that value. I'll move forward now to this character, which may seem unusual. I go into this in the article, but this is 13. And you'll see it's actually, there's no character in the normal character set. That's 13, but because it's reverse field, it's actually not 13, it's 93. Or it's 9, sorry, not 93. It's 93 hex. Oh, there it is at the bottom, of course, 93. And then this is an 80, right? It's 00, it's reverse field, so that means that it's actually hex 80, okay? So I'll talk a bit about the character set, but the point here is you can discern by looking through text in this mode what character is what. It's not going to show you some weird line draw character or a heart or a circle or a copyright symbol. These are all ASCII characters with the exception of the set that is kind of two digits in a character. So I think you get the idea there. Now I'm gonna switch modes, video modes, because this supports three video modes. It supports 40 by 30, which is what you're looking at. It supports a 80 by 30 and an 80 by 60. So I'll press F8 to toggle, and it'll rewrap the screen, and now you kind of see the punchline here. And that's that we're looking at a file that is formatted for an 80 column screen. This happens to be Michael Bly's Lair of the Lich King a startup screen. This is from an older version of code. This is from 0.1 beta 0. But he sent me this file back in probably April. At the time we were trying to get it working for VCF East. But just to show you quickly the other mode, this is 80 by 60. The other mode is 80 by 30. So that's really all I have to show at this point. Also you can change any particular, you can edit, just type, whatever you want there. Or you can edit a particular value. It's hard to type a 93. So to do that, you hit Control V, which is the value entry. It gives you kind of a upper status line entry point, and you'll type in, I don't know, 01, let's say. And when I hit enter, it'll replace the current value with 01, so you can see it there, 01. What else to show here? Not much. That's really it for now. This is a longer video than I had planned, but I wanted to run you through the data mode, how it's moving along, and what it looks like, how the character definition works, to kind of give you a better idea what you're actually looking at here, and to just, I guess, express the different video modes. One other thing to mention, Micah uses a completely redefined character set for his game. So you can see the rough form of what the outline is here. But it's kind of, it's muddy, or it's wrong, or it's different. Well, every character that he defines, I'll superimpose in this video a picture of what the actual colored screen looks like. But it's pretty impressive, and I'm not sure what tool he uses to create this visual. But as far as formatting is concerned, he has two files, two 4,000 byte files. This is the character file, and he has a color file. And the color file kind of sits behind it. On the F256, this will get thrown into the second bank, counting from 0, 1, 2, or the third bank of C1000 screen memory. And then the third bank, or 0, 1, 2, 3, which is the fourth 3 by byte value, is the color bank. So he just literally dumps this into memory and then dumps the other into memory. But we're looking at here, as it's as luck would have it, because this is formatted for a perfect 80 column screen, it wraps and renders correctly. Of course, not every file will do that. This is meant to, the data mode is meant to see bytes left to right. And there's a mode that narrows the screen to 64 characters. And there's a right kind of margin that will show disassembled code if you're looking at code as you move the cursor. I'll demonstrate that another time, but I at least wanted to kind of add this one last point, this one another thing, so you understand the difference between what this looks like and what the file will look like when it's actually rendered. Thanks.